going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin price absolutely skyrocketing right now. As you can see, Bitcoin is actually leading the races 10% in just a day. And, you can clearly see the Bitcoin dominance. For example, has also been skyrocketing. You could see we're over 50%, headed towards around 52%. Now, in yesterday's video, you guys could see right here, I said, don't be fooled. They're trying to blindside you. And what I was talking about essentially is that I have seen this play out time and time again where markets get bored. There's so much bad news coming out about crypto and Bitcoin. Everyone's scared. They think it's dead. And then all of a sudden, you get completely bamboozled only to find out that all these institutions have been accumulating and doing a bunch of stuff in the background, right? So this is exactly what I want to talk about today. First of all, there's a lot of things happening in the Bitcoin chart. And what's actually interesting is you can actually see that the S&P is having a red day. And if we come over at gold, gold has been still going sideways, having this sort of, triple top. Meanwhile, over on Binance US, I don't know what this was all about. Bitcoin spiked up to $138,000. Of course, this was just in this very quick daily wick. I don't even know if they honored that. I don't know how that happened, but really, really crazy. So we need to talk about what is going on, something in the charts that if this happens, then forget all that short-term negative stuff we talked about on the daily. Because remember, the higher time frames are the most important. So we're going to talk about all that today. I'll try to keep today's video somewhat short, guys. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let's have a look at what is going on. And of course, if you're not subscribed, well, you're probably missing out at this point, guys. So I'm going to be very quick today. Not too much to go over, but kind of a lot of good news, but we can pack it into a shorter video. You can see right here, we do have this breakout on the futures coming out above this blue zone, and it was previously acting as resistance. Again, we have seen the dominance come up, but look, this is why we're stopping right here. If you guys actually come all the way back here, you could see that we had multiple supports, 3 supports here, we had 3 supports here, and then it flipped resistance, and then it flipped resistance again, right? So this level right around sort of 30,000 even is a very psychological level. It acted as the bottom right here for a very long time, right? Crazy, crazy bottom, literally from December of 2020 to June of 2022. This psychological $30,000 area has been an area for us to get above. So if we can break and hold above this, that would be amazing. And one thing I wanted to just show you guys real quick is if we actually just put on these Fibonacci retracements from the top of 2017 to the bottom, you can actually see how this area is also playing out right now. You can see the significance of it, and you can see how realistically, yes, we would get a little bit, probably around the 37,000 area, just because, that's sort of where we had those resistance and supports. But the Fibonacci right here at the 1.618 is basically at that 30,000, and that would put the next ultimate target at around 47,500. And if you guys remember, when I showed you the falling wedge pattern, that was the low point of the next, area to beat. So, of course, we do have to beat this previous high. We do have to get above 31,000, but ultimately, we're above the ribbon. Look at this, guys. Right here, right now, in front of our eyes, it finally actually happened. We literally, and of course, keep in mind, this is a weekly candle, so I don't want to get overly excited. Things could change. We need a confirmation candle, but right here, look right there, guys. We have cross on the yellow over the red, and we are above the 89 and the 100 EMA. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are back above the 200 weekly, and what I'm still looking for is to have this golden cross. I'm looking for this 50, right, to intersect right here, and then that would negate this, which was, sort of the death cross. This would be the golden cross. And, I don't know when that will happen, but maybe it'll happen sometime around August of this year. That could really, truly solidify that the bottom was definitely 100% in. And as you can see right here, we're also breaking out of this downward sloping trend. Now, again, this is on the weekly. So we have, it's only the middle of the week. We still have the entire second half of the week left. But this is what we want to see. We want to see all of these candles close above all of these levels. And if we can get all of that confirmation, all of that confluence, then I am going to flip very bullish, like very, very bullish, guys. Right now, we're still in that middle ground where, it still could technically bounce around. It could toy with your emotions a little bit. Because I was saying on the daily, we were seeing a few things that were looking a little bit weak or concerning. But remember, the higher the time frame, the more important, right? The monthly is more important than the weekly, which is more important than the daily, which is more important than the 4 hour, right? So, obviously trading on smaller time frames, even the daily, it might look scary, but on the weekly, it looks really good, guys. So we could be headed for that next target around that $31,000 area if we can break through this. So another thing to point out is that, like Santiment mentioned, Bitcoin's age consumed has spiked in the past 24 hours, indicating that stagnant addresses are beginning to circulate Bitcoin back into regular movement on the network. This is often a sign that this is often a sign of increasing network activity leading to price jumps. Oh, and I thought nobody was interested in the US. Well, look at this. According to Kaiko, Bitcoin volume dominance in the US on exchanges has soared from 29% to 44% just since the start of the year. But I thought nobody was interested, right? I feel really bad for all the people that when Bitcoin and crypto gets boring, they leave, right? They stop watching YouTube. They stop buying. I mean, I don't care if you guys watch YouTube. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but I'm saying in general, they stop paying attention. They stop caring. They stop buying, right? And then what happens? Bitcoin's back up to 35, 40, and then everybody's trying to buy high again. And there were so many opportunities to buy Bitcoin between 15,000 and even now that I don't know. It's funny to me how, nobody wants to talk about it. They're trying to kill it. Oh, they're trying to kill it. They're trying to kill it. Well, with the news of BlackRock and Fidelity both filing for Bitcoin trusts and ETFs, guess what, guys? Another player has entered the ETF race as well. WisdomTree has now filed for a Bitcoin trust with the SEC. If granted approval, WisdomTree plans to list the trust on the CBOE BZX, which will allow institutional investors to gain exposure. While WisdomTree is not necessarily as big as BlackRock, they still manage $94.7 billion in exchange-traded funds. So, still a pretty high level, if you ask me, guys. And like Andrew was saying, update. Yes, the news regarding EDX is exactly what you think it is. TradFi filing the gap that the SEC has cleared them for, Citadel, Schwab, Fidelity, gobbling up US spot Bitcoin and Ethereum volumes. BlackRock Bitcoin Trust will be approved quickly, followed by Fidelity and a host of others. This was all coordinated. This was the purpose and point of my video yesterday. Ignore the news, ignore the headlines. The SEC has come out and said they literally are trying to scare people and deter people from investing into cryptocurrency. The banks are scared. If you're a banker, you're scared of Bitcoin, you're scared of crypto, you're scared of what this can do and the freedom that it can provide, right? But at the end of the day, they know that they need this exposure. They want it. They don't want you to front run them. And they know that everyone since 2009 has had an opportunity to front run the institutions, right? The institutions are trying to pull the train back, right? If you miss it, well, you miss the train. If they miss it, they pull it back, right? That's what they do, right? So just be careful and think about it. When you're selling your Bitcoin, who are you selling it to? Because you even have the former CEO of Barclays saying, I love seeing mainstream firms get involved in Bitcoin. Now, this is like a banker guy saying this.
Well, we got about a minute left. I don't know if we've ever talked about crypto with you. You're an old-fashioned banker type, yeah. Barclays, Lehman. Does it surprise you? BlackRock now talking about it? It doesn't? But you see those other three, Citadel, Charles Schwab.
Crypto is such a broad term, but if you narrow it down to the digitization of so much of what we're doing, it's a natural course. Joe, for me, regulation, regulation, regulation. Stop avoiding it, regulators, and start regulating it and help us out. And I think, you would have heard me say this during 2008 when I was at Barclays. Strong banks want strong regulation. For any positive impact of crypto or digitization, we need regulation and we need clarity. And I love seeing some of the more mainstream firms get involved here, like BlackRock. And BlackRock, we worked with them on Circle, where they're an investor in Circle and we're an investor in Circle. It's a digital payments company, and I knew how much BlackRock saw in terms of the future of Circle. And I'm not surprised that they're more involved now in crypto more broadly.
But wait, there's more. Less than 4 hours after WisdomTree filed its application, Global investments manager Invesco reactivated its application for a similar product. According to the document, Invesco requested that the finance regulator allow its Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF product to be listed on the CBOE BZX exchange. The filing notes that a spot Bitcoin ETF, which uses professional custodians and other service providers, removes the need for investors to rely on loosely regulated offshore vehicles, and in turn allows for a more readily protected principal investments in Bitcoin. Oh my goodness. And also MasterCard crypto. What is going on? So MasterCard is continuing its move into crypto. The payment processor has filed a trademark application claiming plans for software for crypto, blockchain transactions, interconnecting virtual asset service providers for crypto transactions, and a few others. So do you see how it went from nothing, right? Nobody was talking about crypto, and the only things you were hearing were negative. And now, all of a sudden, in 1 week, all of this happens? Tell me this wasn't coordinated. You guys, I know if you've been following this channel, this is what I'm talking about. And here is the big problem that, the US, has this crazy possible debt spiral. Over $500 billion more have been dumped into the US government's debt spiral in the last 2 weeks alone. According to the latest numbers from fiscal data, the US national debt as of just a few days ago was around $32 trillion. That's 571 billion rise since June. Now, I'm talking these numbers out loud, and I know they're hard to comprehend, but just do the math it's insane. The debt is now larger than the total gross domestic product of China, Japan, Germany, and the UK combined, and amounts to about $244,000 per American household. Let that sink in. At current interest rates, the US is now paying over $2 billion a day in interest payments. And even if every American household contributed $1,000 a month to pay off the debt, assuming that we didn't have any more debt, it would still take 20 years to pay off, okay? So if this is not the biggest advertisement for Bitcoin, if this is not why we're seeing this pump today, if this is not why I explained to you that you have to ignore this FUD, oh, crypto's dead in America, they're gonna kill it, yada yada, the SEC. It's just a bunch of, I don't know, hogwash. What's the word? Propaganda. Not really propaganda. It's just a bunch of lies is what it is. It's distractions from the inevitable and what we know is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that, we're going to go to 100K right now. In fact, after breaking through, I would expect a retest again. At least minimally, we can come back down to 28, back down to 27, or even have a double at 25. But the point is, now that we've had that breakout, right? Now that we've seen this interest, we've seen this defense, we've kept the upward sloping trend, this is what I'm talking about. And, if we close outside of this downwards trend while also closing above these significant moving averages, I would definitely say that I'm probably going to flip pretty darn bullish, guys. And there's probably going to be a lot of opportunities now to not try to guess. Like right now, we're kind of in that middle ground where you don't really know, you're kind of waiting for confirmation. Once we get that confirmation, we'll be able to trade this very, very easily. I mean, trading uptrends is like, it's a piece of cake. It really is. I mean, like a 5-year-old could do it. But yeah, there could be a lot of money to be made. And you guys are just definitely get subscribed. Totally free content. I don't charge anything on this channel. Obviously, if you do want to support the channel, there are like a lot of links below. You guys can buy hardware wallets if you want to sign up for exchanges. There's lots of bonuses. Obviously, that does help the channel. Not necessary. Just get subscribed. Check it out. Hope you guys are having a great day. And make sure that you watch these tutorials popping up right here, right now. I have decentralized, centralized. BitGet is a pretty good alternative. Obviously, don't leave your coins on exchanges. I can't stress that enough. That's up to you, though. Whatever you feel comfortable. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. Until next time, stay crypto. And, of course, peace out.